Hello everyone, this is Orchid Dev. Welcome to my channel. In this playlist we are going to create a new project, which is a Django project. So we are going to create a Django dictionary website. So let's dig into it and have a feel of how it's going to be like. So let me connect to the local host to show you how our end product is going to look like. Okay, so this is how the website is going to look like when it is done or it is completed. It's going to have it's a single page website. It has a word of the day that is generated each day. So when, let's say, the next 24 hours, this word is going to change to another word. You can search for your own word. So let's search for the word of the day from the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, which is conditional. Then you hit a search here. Then you get the search results. The search results comes with the pronunciation of the word, the definition of the word, examples that are pertaining to the current definition, which is this, and some other definitions. So a word can have more than 2 definitions, and each definition has its own example. In some cases you can get synonyms. Let's try a word like example. Word like example. Let's wait for the search result to be sent. Nice one. Beautiful. You see, a word like example has a synonym, which means a model. So another definition, it can have 2 or more synonyms. So you can see how it's going to be like. This is the end product of our project. This is how it's going to look like. So in this project we are going to use Django, as you can infer from the name. The name is just Huddle, something that just came into mind. I just used it. It's a Django dictionary website, and for the UI or the front end we are going to use the popular front end framework Bootstrap, Twitter's Bootstrap, and the API that is going to give us the definitions of the word is going to be Word API from Rapid API. It's a freemium product, so you have to register so that you follow along. But don't worry, it's free for about 1,000 requests for a day. So I think before you'll be able to make this a working app or a working deployed website, you need to upgrade it, or you can even use it on your portfolio if it's not going to have a higher request from the outside. So we are going to use Django, Bootstrap, and Word API from Rapid API for this beautiful project here. So let me refresh. This is our end product. Beautiful, very beautiful. So let's start our project. Okay, so let's get on with our project. Let's start everything up. So we are going to initialize our Django project. So move into any directory where you want to keep the Django project. Then let's initialize Django. So before we initialize our project, it's recommended that in every Python project or in any project you have an environment that is going to be particularly pertaining to the project that you are building on. It is very recommended. So in this case you are going to use a virtual environment for that. So let's create a virtual environment here. So let's start a terminal session. So we are going to use a Python package called virtualenv. So if you don't have virtualenv, you see I have virtualenv. So if you don't have virtualenv, to install virtualenv, you just have to put in this command inside your terminal, pip install virtualenv. To install virtualenv, you have to put in this command inside your terminal, pip install virtualenv. And it's going to install virtualenv. You can see I already have virtualenv installed on my on my computer, so I'm meeting the requirement. So let's clear the terminal. So let's create a virtual environment. To create a virtual environment with virtualenv, you write virtualenv .env virtualenv env. That is the name of the virtual environment. The env is the virtual name of the environment. Then we create it. Okay, so now we have created a virtual environment. So we have to activate the virtual environment to be able to use it. So to activate a virtual environment on a Linux or a Unix machine, that is a Linux or a Mac computer, you can activate the virtual environment by entering this command, source env bin /activate. You see this part shows env. That is the name of our virtual environment when we created it. So it means that our virtual environment has been activated. If you are on a Windows machine, to activate the virtual environment, the command that you use is env /scripts a plural script /activate. This is how you are going to activate it on a Windows machine. So let's continue. So let's do a pip list and see whether we have any dependencies in our virtual environment. Okay, these are the basic things that are in our virtual environment. So almost 90%, when you create 90%, there's almost 90% chance that whenever you create a virtual environment, it will be out of date. People will be out of date. So let's just update it with a command that has been given to us here. Let's copy this here. Copy and paste it. Oh no, let's just do this. Sorry, let's just update it, upgrade it once and for all, so that okay, it has installed the latest version of pip. So let's do a pip list again. Nice. So we are now using the latest version of pip. So we are going to use Django. So we need to install Django. So in this project, we are going to use Django 3.0. So we do pip install Django. Okay, now we have Django installed on our computer. So let's do a pip list to see which Python Django version was installed. So Django 3.1 has been installed on our laptop. So let's initialize our Django project. So initialize the Django project with Django admin start project. The name of our project is going to be Django dictionary. Okay, so let's change directory into the project. So Django dictionary, cd into it, then let's open it in our text editor. I'm going to use Visual Studio for this. So code dot full stop. Okay, so it's going to start up Visual Studio Code with the project. Okay. So this is our project. This is the root folder, and it has another folder in it which is called the same name as the project. So we are going to keep it, but in later projects we are going to change this one into src or the source directory. Okay, this manages.py file is a very important file, so you're not going to make any changes to it unless it is necessary. So let's head into our root folder, which is the Django dictionary. It's going to contain it contains the root settings and the root URL and some other important files as well. So we are going to configure some settings inside the settings.py file. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is to take out this settings, the security key from the settings.py file. Let me show you something. This website, which is called Shigit, it roams on GitHub gathering information about projects that have important credentials, let's say security keys and other stuff. So as you can see here, AWS credential has been mistakenly committed to a repo. Here database credential has been committed to a repo. They are constantly looking for such data. So not to be in such situation, we are going to use a .env or an environment file to keep our security key. Okay, so let's create a .env file in the root directory called .env. Okay, so it's going to be export security key in capital letters by conversion. The security key can be anything, but it shouldn't be known by anyone when it is in production. It can be anything. It can be this, it can be just any word. So because it contains some special characters, you have to use triple quotes, then you paste this one inside. Okay, it seems like I did it for. Okay, now let's save it. So we are going to also save our API keys that we are going to use to access the word API also in this .env file. So this file is very important. So we are not going to comment this one to version control for it to be submitted to GitHub or anything, or GitLab or any other repository. So to get access to that environment, the environment variable that has been set in the env file, we have to import the OS model. Import OS model, then let's use it, os dot get env, and the name was security key underscore key. Okay, the next thing we are going to configure is the template. Where should Django look for our template that is going to serve on the web server from? So we are going to create a template folder here, templates, then let's point Django to that place. So base there is this part here, because it's a part from pathlib. It's very simple to use it. So base there slash templates, that's supposed to be a string template. If it was supposed to be an older version of Django which is using the OS model for the base there, then you are supposed to use os dot path dot joined base there, comma, then templates. So let's move on. Let's go down to the static files. So the static file is going to be the static folder is going to be a place that is going to store our JavaScript, CSS, and images, other static images. So let's configure it. So we configure it with static files. Static files this is going to be equal to static base there static. So base there static, yes, and the static root. Configure the static root folder to be static underscore root. Okay, so now let's save it. One thing I've noticed with Django 3.1 and the newer version of Django is that when you are running, you usually get an error from the server, because this thing is not in a string. It produces some weird kind of error. I'm going to leave it so that when we see that error, you'll be able to fix it up. So now let's move into the urls.py file and make some configurations over there. Let's delete all this comment, we don't need it. So from, we are going to import settings, the settings file. So from django.conf import settings, and you are going to import static. So from django.conf.urls dot static, import, no, not input, import static. Okay, so because we are not in production yet, we want to be able to test our static file for the meantime. So to be able to use our static files, we have to configure it. So if settings dot debug, settings.debug is here. It can be found in the settings, which is here. It has been set to true. It has been set to true. So that's what you mean over here. So if it has been set to true, then our URL patterns, which is this patterns here, should include plus or equal to a static core to with settings dot static URL comma with a document root equal to settings dot static Okay, so this is going to allow us to save our static files even whilst you are in development mode. So let's save this. Okay, so I think we are done with the initial configuration of our Django project. Okay, there's an error. Error has been thrown, which is URL patterns, and here settings. Okay, so that solves it. Alright, okay, so that's the initial configuration. So let's meet in the next episode where we create the Django app that is going to take care of the main logic of the website, and we are going to write the template for the UI, how it's going to look like with Bootstrap. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to also to leave your comments below. It's very, very essential. Let's scare the YouTube algorithm with our likes and our comments. Thank you. See you once again. Bye.